Good afternoon. Today I wanted to do a Louise Carmen video just to show off my two notebooks that I've got. I will say these are fairly recent purchases. I got them a couple of weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks now, in Paris when I was visiting. I'd looked at probably every video that there is on YouTube in regards to Louise Carmen. Initially thinking, oh, I'm not sure they're for me, not sure I like the trifold, I don't know. And then it became a bit of an obsession where I started watching everything and decided that actually I did want one. Clearly I got two. I did want one, and actually they would suit my needs for you know, how I could use them as a journal, etc. And so I was going to Paris anyway to visit a relative, and I thought, well, I've got to pop into Louise Carmen. So I did go to Louise Carmen. I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew what colour, I knew what elastic I wanted on it, I knew that I didn't really want charms, and I knew that I wanted engraving, but not anything, just really my initials and one little bit on the inside of the first one that I got. My plan was to get one, which I did, and then the day later, a day and a half later, I went back and got a second one. So Louise Carmen there's one shop that they have in Paris, and that's the only shop actually across the world. It's owned by someone called Honore. There's no such person as Louise Carmen. Louise Carmen apparently was a character in a book that Natalie's mum was writing, and she decided to call the shop Louise Carmen. So Louise Carmen herself doesn't exist. The founder actually is someone called Natalie and her husband, and I think their children work in the shop. I think there's Victoire, and one other person in the shop is possibly a relative. So the first one I got was, let me just check. The first one I got was this one. So I decided I wanted to get the prune. I would normally go for navy, dark blue in everything that I do. I clearly got a navy elastic, but I wanted to get a different colour to what I would traditionally get. And so I got the prune. Bearing in mind I've had this now 3 weeks, 3 and a bit weeks. It's looking lovely. It's used quite a bit. I'm not going to be precious with it. I've put it in the cloth bag here to show you that you get a cloth bag with it. You have a choice. I got this one, and there's a plain one, and I think there's a fauve that you can choose. It's just very recycled cotton, I believe, but this is the one that I chose. I'm really pleased with it. The one thing that you can't see, and you're not going to be able to appreciate, is the smell of it. It's absolutely gorgeous leather smell. So I did get 2 different ones, as you will see in a moment. This is the Honoré, am I right? Yeah, this is the Honoré, and then the other one that I'll show you in a moment is the Roadbook. So let me take this out and show you. I have moved the inserts that I got with it to my own inserts, so clearly what you're going to see isn't what I got. I had my initials put on. You can see, you can get them embossed, and then I did get some embossing on the inside, which is personal to me, and this is the actual book itself. So let me move that one out of the way. So I've got one insert in, which is a Louise Carmen. I got the dotted book. I don't really like plain, so I got a dotted one with it, and you do get another one. I do have the inserts here, which I'll show you in a moment. I then have a Moleskine squared which I use, and I love Moleskine, and this is the perfect size for the Moleskine large. So this is the navy Moleskine grid in large, and as you can see, it absolutely fits perfect. So the Honore has 2 inserts of elastics, and there is 2 inside, so you can actually fit more notebooks in here, and some people might want to put 4 in. The other thing about the Honore is it has got the biggest flap here, so some people like to put a lot of books in, so you're going to have much more give in this one than the other ones. It has a pocket on the back, and obviously you can fit various things in here. I'm not someone who carries around stickers or anything like that, and in fact I don't really use them very much in my notebooks, so I don't need this for a lot. However, I can confirm that it does fit a Kindle. I should have brought the Kindle. So I've got the green signature Kindle, and it absolutely fits in there. It's snug, but it absolutely fits, because initially I wanted to be able to fit the Kindle in, but I also didn't want it to bulge too much, and I didn't know whether I would need to get the Magnum. But the Magnum is not only wider, it's actually quite a bit bigger, and it was too big. So I went not really knowing what size I needed, but knowing what colour and what kind of elastic I wanted. So as I say, this is the Honore. The Honore, they confirmed to me, has the widest flap, so you can fit more in it. If you look at it like that, you can see there's quite a lot of room left to put more notebooks in. And as I say, it came with 2, and these are the notebooks that you get from Louise Carmen. So they're very lovely, they're very nice quality, they don't bleed through. I have tried, they don't bleed through with fountain pens. They're fairly thick, but not too thick. I don't like paper that's too thick. And they work lovely. So you could fit 4 of them in here, as you can see. Even with my Moleskine and 4, it will still close. And people, I know a lot of people would do like to fit a lot in. I didn't get the portfolio. I don't think I'd need it for all the pockets and things, so I just didn't get one. So if I take that out, that is my Honoré. I'm just going to close up my book. I do use them all for different things, even though they just look like a heap of notebooks piled on top of each other. And this one does have the elastic connection at the back. Some people don't like that because they think that you're going to have something hard to write on. I suppose I'll show you the road book in a minute, but for this one you do have the back pocket that protects that anyway. I can't imagine that's going to be a problem, but you do get a little indent on your pocket. All of the marks that I'm getting on it, I'm loving. I'm not precious. I don't want it to look pristine. The reason I love leather is because I love the way that leather wears. I don't, my handbags, etc., I have to have leather. Yeah, I love the way leather wears, and it suits me really, really well. And it's very, very sustainable because mostly leather will last forever. So what you can see here is I have quite a big flap that's still left, so I can add a lot more to this if I really wanted to. So that's the Honoré. I'm now going to show you my road book. The road book I was going to get in saffron. I was adamant I was going to get the saffron. The only thing with the saffron is I love the colour of saffron, but I don't like how it patinas. It patinas into like a tan, and I don't particularly like tan. So I didn't get the saffron. I went and got one that some people may say is fairly similar to this one, which is the prune. I got the brun camage. I'm not very good with my French. And the dust bag that kind of matches it. So this is the one that I got when I went back the day after. and this, I didn't get any embossing on. I just got this plain. Now, what that means is, if you go into the shop and you want any embossing on here, you can also have it on the inside, down the side. If you want that embossing, then you wait in a queue outside the shop to get in. And on the Tuesday that I went, I waited a long time. Apparently Tuesday is the busiest day, and I went at Tuesday. They open at 12 midday, and there was a queue of 9 people in front of me. By the time I got into the shop, or the front of the queue, there was 21 people behind me. And that's because it's closed on a Sunday and a Monday. So I think Tuesday is their busiest day. And they do say that Tuesday is their busiest day. But I'm a little impatient, and I still wanted to go on the Tuesday. So I did wait in the queue. I'm not someone who likes to queue. People would be surprised that I did. I queued for an hour. And then I had to go back 90 minutes because I got the embossing. Okay, so that was my Honoré. When I went back, I decided I was just going to get the Road Book. And I wanted to not have any embossing on it. I wasn't really bothered about having my initials or anything like that. I'm fairly minimalist, and so it didn't bother me that there wasn't going to be embossing. The good thing about that was I then went on the Thursday. That was the Tuesday, the day, I went on, didn't go the next day, the day after, the Thursday. I went at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and there was 5 people in front of me. I was seen within half an hour, and because I didn't get any embossing, they made it up there and then, and I didn't have to wait and come back later. So because they shut at something like 7 p.m, I think 5:30 is the latest time you can go in, because they need 90 minutes generally to emboss them and to make them up. But I went in, got in around about 4:30, as I say, after waiting half an hour, and they did it. She just said to me, could you just wait for 5 minutes? And she said, I'll get that ready for you, and I took it away. So this was bog standard, plain Road Book, 3 inserts for this one actually in the Road Book, which I'll show you in a moment. And I believe that was €139. Which I don't think's bad. So this one I got is beautiful again, gorgeous leather. The other thing is they bring, I'm going to take this out for you and show you what I mean. They bring a few leathers. Let me just take these out. So they bring the leather like this to you, obviously without the elastic, and they let you choose them, so they're all wrapped up. But they bring it like this, and you have a choice of about 3 or 4, and they've all got different, it's not patinas because they're brand new, but they're all real pieces of leather, so they're all going to look slightly different. I know mine had a line somewhere down it, might have been the other one, and I quite liked it, so I chose that one. So this is the Road Book. This fits up to 6 notebooks. They do say for each string you can put a notebook on. And again, I use 2 or 3, but this is the basic Road Book with no pockets. The organizer has pockets here and pockets here, but this is the straightforward Road Book. So again, you get 3 Louise Carmen notebooks with it. Of course, yes, I chose the dotted. So let me pop them in. That's 1. Do this very quickly. Oops. 1. You can tell I haven't really used my Louise Carmen ones yet, only because I'm in the middle of some that I'm already using, so I don't want to start. I have a dreadful habit of having lots of notebooks on the go at once. So if you can see, there's 3 there. They're like the Cahier ones from Moleskine, so they're not really thick. They're thick enough, and then I will say, they say that this flag always goes on the inside. I know I see a lot of people fold them like this, but when you speak to them in the shop, they suggest that the flag goes underneath and that goes on top, because if the flag goes on top, this bit here is going to have a faded bit that's used and a non-faded bit. So their idea is the flag goes underneath, that goes on top, then this part that you see is always going to patina the same, whereas it won't if you do that. But that's fine if that's what you do all the time. But if you did that, the more notebooks you put in, you're going to have different bits of fading. So I'd still suggest that you do it that way. So as you can see, that's with 3 in, plenty of overlap left, plenty more can be fitted in there. And again, for that one I chose the deep red because I wanted it to match my other notebook, no idea why. Lovely experience. They're very, very nice when you go in the shop. As I say, there's always a bit of a wait outside. You can't make an appointment to go into the shop, but it's quite a nice experience. If you think of the journey to getting your notebook is partly to wait in a queue, then it's not going to bother you. And it's quite exciting because you can see through the window. So you can see all of the different notebooks on the shelf. They have them all out, all of the colours. I was there in August. I do think it's quieter in August in regards to, there was only 2 people helping in the shop. And I think sometimes I thought they had an upstairs that you could go to. I know that when I was there was just the people downstairs working. So once you're in and you've got your appointment, you could take an hour to choose your notebook. That's absolutely fine and up to you, and those people outside just have to wait for you to be done. They don't rush you. Obviously, apart from what I've got, there are tons of gris-gris, loads of charms as they call them, and they fit on these bits here. So you could have 3 on this if you chose, and then 1 round your elastic. Again, I didn't get any in the shop. I bought this one here. I've got it on back to front. Why does it not? Let me show you. I bought this one here, which is an aeroplane, and on the back it says, can't read it now, "The world is yours to explore." I don't know whether you can see that. I actually got that from Pandora, so it probably cost more than one of the gris-gris in the shop would, but it was just a bit more meaningful for me than just picking up random charms in the shop that actually weren't as meaningful. I'm not saying I won't get charms, because I think what I'll do is I'll get them as I'm out and about in the world, and then they'll just mean a little bit more to me. So there you have it, Louise Carmen, the Honoré, the Road Book, and there is the organizer. The organizer is the smallest of the 3 in regards to inserts, because when you have the organizer, this flap here is a lot shorter, because on the inside you've got pockets here, so it's a bit harder to fit more, and you can't stretch it over the same. So that's why I chose these ones. But if the organizer is what you want, it's beautiful. It's got lots of pockets in. Now some people decide they don't want the organizer, they want an insert, and the jack insert fits both of these. I didn't buy it because I don't use these as a purse, wallet or anything. I use my small passport traveller's notebook as a wallet or purse, and I'll probably do a video on that another time. But I know that because I don't carry around ephemera and stuff like that and stickers, then I'm probably not going to use them. I desperately wanted to need one, but I don't need one, so I didn't get one. And she didn't try to sell me one either, so they're not pushy. I didn't see anyone in the queue that didn't buy one, but obviously that is an opportunity that you can just go in and have a look, but it's a bit of a long wait just to have a look. But lovely experience, and yeah, I just thought I'd pop on and do that video just for those people that are considering getting one. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you next time.